Almost 50 years ago, when we moved into our forever home, there were fruit trees and grapevines on the property. We didn't know the first thing about taking care of fruit trees or grapevines. The grapes were what we referred to as the back of the house, which if you live on a lake is actually the front of the house. So when you live on a lake, you actually have two fronts. So we called it the lakeside because, you know, if we talked to our neighbors, they would get offended if we called it the backyard. So on the lakeside, we had what was called a catwalk, and it had three huge grapevines growing all over it, and we had wonderful Concord grapes. I didn't like to harvest them because they were full of spiders, and I just didn't know how to prune them. But through trial and error and moving them, we ended up with three of those grapevines in what we considered the street side of our home. And through the years, we lost a couple, but there is still one that is over 75 years old. And it gives wonderful grapes. Since then, I've learned how to prune them. I've learned how to use them. And we're going to talk about grapes today. Hi, I'm Mary Bourne, traditional naturopath. I love sharing natural remedies with people. This class is called the Preppy Herbalist because I really feel that people need to be prepared. They need to know how their body works and how you can be helping it be the best you can be. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that you like this video. Give me a thumbs up if you do. I love to have you share this with others, subscribe, and even comment because I love hearing from people. I do these videos once a week, and when you click on the little notification bell, you'll be emailed a warning that we're going to be doing another presentation and what it's about. If you've been watching my channel since the beginning of 2021, my Health to Home classes and Preppy Herbalist have been about the culinary and health benefits of herbs and food. Some of the ways I've used my grapes have been through jams and through pickling. So I love the making the jams and jellies. They were a lot of fun. I found sugar-free recipes or less sugar, and the leaves have made the pickles stay crisp. And I learned a lot of this through YouTube channels and finding out videos that helped me along the way. I never knew about pickling or jam making or any of that. I did not grow up doing these kitchen things. My mother just wasn't a canner. And so I like to provide resources for people so that they can learn these techniques on being healthier because food is our medicine. So when I make my grape jelly, I, of course, clean the grapes and sort out the ones that aren't good, take the good ones, put them in a pot, a little bit of water so it doesn't stick, and then I cook them on kind of a medium-low heat, and when they're ready, mash them down with the potato masher. And I like to get every bit of nutrition out of the skins. Then once it's simmered for about a half hour, I will pour the contents of the pan into a colander that is lined with a thin cotton, much like a flour sack. Then I'll, when it's cool enough, bring the cotton up to a ball and squeeze out all of the goodness. And sometimes I will tie it up and hang it and let the rest of the juice come out. Unfortunately, I found that to be an attraction for fruit flies. So now what I do is I just try to squeeze the best I can and get all the juices out, and then get rid of the pulp and the seeds and put it in my compost pile. I can then wash out the cotton and reuse it for when I want to strain herbs and all kinds of things where you want to get the seeds or pulp out. Works very efficiently. I used to use these seed things, but I found this to be, the jelly comes much clearer and is great. So I'll leave a link in the description below for lower sugar and no purchased pectin recipe. So most of the jellies that are on the market are not made with sugar. They're made with something called high fructose corn syrup. And it is a very destructive ingredient. I know a lot of people that feed birds with jelly, and Orioles can get sick from this high fructose corn syrup. So I discourage you from using that grape method. Even though they love it, it's really not the best for them. And it's not the best for us. There is a free ebook that you can get written by Dr. Joseph Mercola on high fructose corn syrup, invented by research duo Marshall and Cooey in 1957. High fructose corn syrup purged glucose from the old corn syrup formula and went on a rather profitable journey into the American market. Know more about this rise of high fructose corn syrup in our taste and consciousness. It actually affects the brain. It creates a almost need for more of this sugar. And the federal subsidies on corn refinery surplus in the corn supply and commercial interests that made it possible. So this book also tells you how corn syrup affects our psyche and addiction, and how it detrimentally forces the pancreas to overreact, therefore causing a response on the liver. So I'll be sure to link the link in the description below so that you can get your free copy of this book. I think you'll find it extremely interesting. I think that many people do not understand the difference between high fructose corn syrup, and sugar. They think they're all alike, but natural sugars are mined far less than like white sugar is. And if you can get organic natural sugar, you're stepping up the nutritional value in whatever you make. Sugar is not good, but if you can do these in steps, you're going to benefit by them. Now, grape leaves are a healthy part of a Mediterranean diet. And what I noticed in growing my own grapes is that you periodically have to go through and get rid of some of the grapes. You have to cut off some of the vines so that you can encourage bigger fruit and better fruit. And what am I going to do with all these grapes? Well, the vines you can strip, you can make wreaths out of them. They're very useful. I've tied them up. There are fences you can make with using bamboo and twisting grapevines in between. But the grape leaves themselves are an important part of a Mediterranean diet. And this is a dish that's called domas, and they wrap meat and rice and onions in grape leaves. Now, the grape leaves, in order for them not to taste bitter, what you want to do is blanch them. And you can do this a couple of times. You want them able to work with anyway, sort of like a cabbage leaf. So blanching them helps to get rid of that bitter taste, and then rinsing them in water. If you use salt in the blanching water, that also helps to get rid of that bitter flavor. So this is one way that grape leaves are used. And I mentioned the way that I use them is in making pickles, and it works fabulous in keeping pickles crisp, especially if you are fermenting them and using the fermented process. Fermented foods are an important part of a healthy diet. Your gut needs plenty of friendly bacteria, and kombucha is getting more and more popular. And instead of buying it, which is quite pricey, you can make it for pennies. And I'll leave a link for grape kombucha. If you've made your own kombucha from black tea, you'll know that the kombucha, it's called a SCOBY, and it is what creates the yeast and bacteria. So it's kind of a rubbery thing that forms, and it often will grow and create two. And they mentioned that if you want to do grapes or blueberry or some kind of fruit kombucha, that you use the spare SCOBY disc to do that in case you want to make more true kombucha, because the true kombucha can't be made once you've used that disc for a fruit drink. You just can't use it again for just regular kombucha. So you can have one for fruit drinks and you can have one for regular kombucha. But kombucha is loaded with wonderful bacteria that helps to heal the gut. If you have a leaky gut, you do need to heal it. You know you have a leaky gut if you have allergies, asthma, autoimmune conditions, all of them. So it isn't, herbal medicine and natural healing has more to do with what is the body trying to tell you, and what can you do about it to assist the healing. It isn't about name calling. It isn't about finding an diagnosis. It's about healing the body, paying attention to what you eat, what you think, all of these things. Now, another drink I really love, it's full of antioxidants. It's a mangosteen fruit concentrate, and it has Concord grapefruit concentrate, red grapefruit concentrate, blueberry. All these things are great for the liver, great for the eyes, and great for anti-aging. And I'm all for that. I'm in my mid-70s. I need to make sure that I'm doing all I can to keep my strength, my skin, and my health at optimum levels. So along with doing this, I often will add this wonderful antioxidant drink to my homemade apple cider vinegar or my homemade kombucha. And that's how I start my morning. I also like grapeseed oil. I love to make my own lotions and salves, and often the recipe calls for olive oil. But I found making things with olive oil very greasy. and it stays on my skin because olive oil is a rather thick oil. Grapeseed oil is wonderful. It just sinks right into the skin, makes your skin so lovely. It's loaded with vitamin E, so it stabilizes a lot better. And I'll leave a link to an organic source of grapeseed oil, and you can use that to create your own salad dressings. I make an infused oil. This is the way that I use it. I fill a pan with water, I let it come to a boil, and then I will bring it down to simmer. Then I'll put my glass Pyrex bowl measuring cup into it. Usually I use the 2-cupper. Then I put my herbs into a pint-size canning jar, fill it with the grapeseed oil until it comes to the top, put the lid on it, screw the band on, not real tight, but secure. Then I put this in the Pyrex thing. Then I let it simmer for about a half hour. This heats all of the oil and it allows the goodness from the herbs to go into the oil. And then I carefully use a hot pad, take that jar out of that, screw the band on, and in a little while, usually within minutes, it'll ping like it's canned. This can be saved on a shelf for 5 or 6 years. Oftentimes, I will pull it off the shelf and pass these oil and the herbs through the colander lined with cotton and squeeze out all of the oil and none of the herbs. This makes a great salad dressing, depending on the herbs. It can make a great base for a lotion, and where you only have to add a little beeswax. So there are lots of recipes. I actually have videos showing me doing this, and I think that you would enjoy the process. It would be lots of fun. It's a wonderful way to use herbs and get the benefits of these herbs by eating it with your salad dressing. One of the most toxic foods we take in are store-bought salad dressings. So it really is great to make your own. One of my favorites is I will make a chive vinegar. When the chive blossoms are fresh, I will pluck them off, rinse them, dry them, and then put them in a base of vinegar, and I let them sit for about a week, and then I'll strain them out, and it makes the most wonderful pink vinegar. So that's an easy thing to do if you've got chives. You can also do this if you have onion blossoms. You can make an onion blossom vinegar. It doesn't turn the pretty pink, but it is really nice. You can add all kinds of things to this oil and just hike up the benefit of it. So being self-sufficient by eating a healthy diet and knowing how the body works is such a sense of security. I rarely have to visit a doctor. I don't take medicine. I don't have constant pain. I act on simple injuries immediately and stave off the having to suffer for days because I know these techniques. And I share these techniques in all of my videos. So please continue to watch, share them with other people. You too can be self-sufficient by learning how herbs and healthy living and how our bodies work. Our bodies are not meant to be filled with inflammation and pain. There certainly is a time and a place for a medical doctor and medicine, but it isn't every day. And I honestly feel that a lot of medication actually hinders the body from healing. So you are in control of your body. Be respectful by giving it what it needs to serve you well. We take better care of our pets, better care of our automobiles than we do our own bodies. So we need good air, good food, good exercise, good water, and faith in healing. So if you have specific questions and you would like to contact me, do so at drmary@bornforhealth.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you have a comment on this video, please do so below. Like if it was inspirational in any part of it. Be sure to check out the links in the description below and the 25% discount coupon for the Tigo. I am not an affiliate of the organic oil, but Mountain Rose is a wonderful source for quality bulk food, bulk herbs, bulk teas, those type of things. So I want to thank you for viewing and be thankful for all of the flowers and the people and all the joy around you. Until next time, this is Dr. Mary for the Health of It.